I do see our Lieutenant Governor here this morning. I'm glad he's here. I was going to introduce him if he wasn't here, but he's here. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we're indeed privileged and honored to have with us the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, Dan Forest. All of you know Dan Forest. You've seen him. He was elected our Lieutenant Governor in 2013. He is the 34th Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. Prior to becoming our Lieutenant Governor, Dan Forest received 2 degrees from the University of North Carolina in Charlotte, and after college, our Lieutenant Governor worked in the business community for over 20 years. He is a businessman. He served as the office president and senior partner of the state's largest architectural firm, Little Diversified Architectural Consulting. If you ever served on a school board and had to decide on school plans, architectural plans for a school, Little Diversified was always in there. Dan has been designated as an architect emeritus. As Lieutenant Governor, Dan Forest serves as the President of North Carolina Senate, and he serves as a voting member of the State Board of Education and the State Board of Community Colleges. In addition, our Lieutenant Governor is a member of the North Carolina Advisory Commission on Military Affairs, the Food Manufacturing Task Force, and he serves as chair of both the Energy Policy Council and the Board of Post-Secondary Education Credentials. Dan Forest is a father of 4. He and his wife, Alice, reside in Wake County. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm Farm Bureau welcome to our Lieutenant Governor, Dan Forest.
Well, thank you, Larry. It's an honor to be with you as always, and we're always very thankful to all the farm families that continuously make the world go around, and especially here in North Carolina with our #1 industry in our state. And I've never seen a group of people who invest more into their communities and really ask for less than the farmers of this state. A group of people who are devoted to the success of our state and the success of their communities and their families and their nonprofits, and really don't come knocking on the doors of folks in Raleigh too often asking for too much. But we are just very thankful for what you do. And Larry, congratulations to you, and thank you for your excellent service, not just to the state of North Carolina, but I know you all know this, but Larry is certainly a leader here in North Carolina, but a leader around the country and around the world as well when it comes to all things agriculture. And I had the opportunity to travel to Germany with Larry a couple years ago, and Dean Linton and the Chancellor to go raise money for the Plant Sciences building, and I got to see Larry in action with world leaders in agriculture, and he's extremely well respected, as you all know, and these are going to be extremely tough shoes to fill. But Larry, thank you for your service to the state and to the families of this state as well, and especially during increasingly challenging times for agriculture. And, you know, one of the things that I think we have to be excited about is there are bright days that are still ahead for our state and our #1 industry, but there are also some great challenges that lie ahead too. And we need to make sure that we have the right leadership in places like the Farm Bureau, but also in Raleigh, to make sure that we're taking care of our #1 industry, making sure that those 1 in 4 or so jobs that are created out there in our communities that are still 40% rural out of the 80 or so rural counties in our state are really being cared for and being paid attention to, because I think the challenges are becoming increasingly complex as this world becomes increasingly smaller and increasingly connected, and the political challenges that we face around the world are coming to bear on places like North Carolina. We need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to solve these challenges in a thoughtful way. As was just mentioned by Dr. Bill, that he sees leadership as being impactful influence. And I think that that's really what we need right now, whether it's working with our folks in Raleigh, working with our local communities, or working in D.C. and even around the world. We think about the challenges that you all face every single day, challenges like environmental lobbies trying to put the agriculture business out of business, tariffs, putting pressures on your individual businesses every day, unfair trade practices, foreign currency manipulation, over-governmental regulation, immigration stalemates in Washington, D.C., labor shortages, land costs, increasing world population, and the decreasing number of farmers actually out there trying to feed the world. Farming costs in general continuing to go up, increasing debt and decreasing revenue for the average farmer. Flooding in North Carolina and the difficulty of recovery, technological innovation and transformation, broadband infrastructure, the lack of business loans. I mean, think of any other industry in the world right now that has that confluence of things that are challenging the industry. And so we need to make sure that we have leadership that understands and that cares about what's going on. And right now, your General Assembly, I think, has done a phenomenal job. I think you guys well know Brent Jackson and Jimmy Dixon and folks like that who are fighting for you every single day to make sure that the people in Raleigh are paying attention. But we have a growing number of folks there and even in D.C. who don't understand agriculture, who don't understand where food comes from. We obviously have a growing number of young people who have grown up never even seeing a farm. And honestly, sometimes I think they think food grows in the back room of the grocery store. I don't think it ever really crosses their mind as to where it comes from. And so we have to educate our young people. And we have to make sure that they understand this, but we also have to educate our leaders. We have to educate those in political positions that are making decisions every single day that sometimes influence you, and sometimes it feels like they're trying to even litigate us out of agriculture business in North Carolina. I was happy to see that the General Assembly overrode the governor's veto for the Farm Act that would stop some of the frivolous lawsuits that are going on right now in North Carolina, especially against the hog industry. And we saw that major hit come to agriculture in North Carolina and around the country. And this is certainly not going to be something that ends anytime soon. So making sure that we're always fighting for you. But there are some bright spots as well, and I want to make sure that we touch on those. I think what's going on in North Carolina with the food manufacturing task force, as was mentioned, but also what's going on with food innovation at the research campus in Kannapolis, and what's going to be going on with the new plant sciences building. I don't know if Dean Linton's here or not, but there he is. Best agriculture dean in the world right there, and just a great guy. What's going to happen in North Carolina when that plant science building opens up and creates new opportunity for innovation in North Carolina to help grow this 87, 89, $90 billion industry into $100, $120 billion by really through innovation and through food manufacturing. When we talk about the advances in food manufacturing and the things we're going to be able to do in North Carolina because of the leadership of Richard Linton here at NC State, we are going to be a world-class state for food manufacturing, and that's going to put us on the map in a different way for agriculture. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about some of the new trade agreements that are being worked on right now. Yeah, we have a tariff situation that is a mess right now for a lot of you, and a lot of you are really feeling the impacts of that. But we're also seeing new trade agreements happen. I was at the White House with the president last month for the U.S.-Japan trade deal, which really opens up some markets for especially our hog farmers and our poultry farmers and some of our frozen food industry as well with Japan, and gets us about 50% towards the goal of what was the Trans-Pacific trade deal. And so that's a really big deal, and that's opening up markets for North Carolina. And I believe that we're gonna see the tariff and the trade deal get completed with China as well and open up new markets for us. So as your farms continue to face the struggles of the current situation with the world right now, I believe that we have a team in Washington, D.C. between the President and the Secretary of Agriculture and Sonny Perdue that really get it. They understand it. They understand the forces that you're facing every day, and they're out there fighting these battles. And so I'm saying hang in there, hang tight, and we'll make sure that in Raleigh that what we say to you and what we do for you, that we're not just giving you empty words. Do not accept empty words from your politicians. Make sure they're fighting for you. Make sure they're fighting for agriculture. And then we'll also, again, make sure that we're training our young people. I'm excited to see the programs that are going on, obviously at NC State and North Carolina A&T, but also at some of our high schools, like West Rowan High School, where they just have a phenomenal ag program right there, and a lot of young people who are growing up excited about the future of agriculture as well. So we'll keep fighting all these battles on all these fronts, but I just want to say thank you for what you're doing. Thanks for holding down the fort. Thanks for making your communities great places to live, and we recognize they wouldn't be without you. So we're blessed to have you, and we're blessed to have the opportunity to support you. So thank you so much. God bless you all.